This video relates to Glencore's Fatal Hazard Protocol Number 7, Emergency Response. The training will serve as a control and will cover emergency preparedness.
Hello folks, Joe Hinnich here. I was asked to make a series of videos for emergency preparedness for underground miner. One of the videos that we'll start with is an everyday carry bag or a miner's go-to bag, right? So basically a list of items that you'll want to have with you on hand in case something takes place. So here are some of the items that I carry with me on a daily basis. Some of them are carried on my person, and some of them are carried in a bag that I have with me at all times. Could be easily replicated by any employee here at the mine. Just a matter of either carrying a small bag with you or carrying these items in your lunch kit, or else if you're on the same piece of equipment on a regular basis, you can just have these items on hand right on the piece of equipment. Today we're roughly 1.5 kilometers underground at one of the mines here in Sudbury. Taking off my gloves just so I can demonstrate some of the items. So we have these bags that some people refer to as powder bags. Lots of volume here, lots of room for gear. I usually have one with me at all times, even if I'm walking around. I'll have my lunch with me. I've been trapped a few times underground, so I don't want to be in that situation without my lunch, so I have that with me at all times. And like I said, that lunch kit is a great place to stash some of this kit as well. So you can either carry it in a bag like this, powder bag, or else most of the supervisors have access to these bags here, so just it's almost like a little briefcase for underground supervisor. But these are accessible to the workers as well if they're interested. So again, lots of volume, lots of room to carry lots of gear in here. Some of the items that I recommend is that let's focus first on barricading. Why would we want to barricade? We want to barricade if we can't get to an emergency shelter, so a Hansen tent or else a shelter that's been built ahead of time, or else one of our refuge stations, which is what we use primarily here underground. The underground fire orders state that your first place to go to is the refuge station. If you can't get there, and if you can't get to a Hansen tent, then there's several items that you can use. You'll want to make sure that you're close to a air header. All the compressed air is sent underground through a piping system, and there's air headers in every heading. So you can easily use just a plain garbage bag. Takes very little room, right? This can even fit in your pocket if you wish, but definitely fits in a lunch kit and can be easily stashed at one of your workplaces. What that's going to do for you is that you can go to a compressed air line and just make yourself a small portable shelter, sending the compressed air in there and keeping your head and your upper body in that same area, which will create a positive pressure, keeping all the noxious gases out of there. What could be causing the gases? There could be a fire underground at another location, and the ventilation system is affected by it, sending noxious gases your way. So you want to stay out of that by connecting yourself to the compressed air system. If you don't have a garbage bag, you can easily do that with a jacket that you have there, an old piece of vent tubing, even your coveralls. Put the compressed air line in your coveralls, open it slightly, and just keep your head in there. That'll keep a positive pressure there. So that's barricading. There's definitely more details. There's more material available there, but this is nice and easy, and you've all got access to a garbage bag. Other items that I'd like to keep on hand is if you're down here for an extended period of time, you'll want a little emergency stash of food, granola bars, protein bars, maybe even an MRE if you have access to that, meal ready to eat from the military. There's lots of items at hardware stores, Canadian Tire, Ramaco's, with food items that have a high or a long shelf life. That's what you want. Something that you can just put in your kit and that you can just forget about. So you'll want a protein bar, anything like that, a few of those items just to get you going if you're down here for more than a day. And then a couple hard candies. The hard candies will provide you with a sugar boost, put you in a better mood, and can also be used as first aid treatment for somebody who's possibly going into a diabetic situation. You'll want a few Band-Aids. You're not going to treat a severe emergency with a Band-Aid, but always good to have on hand. A few cleaning wipes. If you can get actual alcohol cleaning wipes from a first aid department or somewhere on surface, throw that in your bag. It's always handy to have. And then really what we're concerned about here is a gross bleed down on the ground. In the event of a major accident or a major injury, you want to stop that bleeding so that you can get your partner or the patient to first aid. But you want to make sure that that person does not lose all the vital blood and that you get that gross bleed under control. So you'll want some of these triangular bandages, compression bandages. They're available again, like I said, from first aid. They'll gladly give you one or two so you can throw that into your kit. So I'll open one up here. They'll provide you with a bandage or some padding to put on the bleed area, and then you can use the second one to then wrap around the area and provide some pressure to get that bleed under control, and then you tie it off. All right? Also very good for splinting, good for securing if you have a protruding object. You can secure it in place for transport. All kinds of great uses for a triangular bandage. So highly recommend that you carry a few of those in your kit as well. Other great bags are the sample bags that we have on surface. They'll keep all your gear in one place and nice and dry. Some other items that you want to keep is a spare light. Doesn't have to be this big, just another small LED light. If this goes out and you're at a dead-end heading or in a workplace where there's no lighting like here, it gets dark down here, and you don't want to be dealing with that, all right? Make sure that you have a small little flashlight. They're available from the dollar store, nice and cheap. Have one of those in your kit. You'll want a wrench. Everything down here operates on the miner's wrench. If you want to turn on a valve that's missing a handle, you'll need this, all right? It'll get you out of a jam. Always have a 12-inch miner's wrench on you. One of the other items that I highly recommend is that you always have a knife on you. If you need to cut a piece of vent tubing to create your barricade or your shelter, you'll be able to do that. If you need to cut some carry straps, some rope to be able to build something. If you need to get yourself out of a situation, you got to cut through something, you'll have it with you, all right? So a good pruning knife, locking blade, you definitely want to have one of those on you all the time, and a good tool to have as a miner as well. I always have a few of the clips on me. So these are used to actually secure a hose to a header or to a piece of equipment. So it's the safety clips. They're handy for anything. If you need to secure a barricade in place, if you need to tie something up to the screen, handy items to have. I also go always step it up a notch a little bit more too. These are available from the mine rescue room. If you're interested in having one, I can definitely provide you with that. First Aid Security will be able to give you one of these as well. They're called patient cards, originally designed by Workplace Safety North. So what this does is it allows you to gather critical information from the scene or from the patient right there while you're with the patient. Things like when did the accident or the incident take place, the patient's name, what treatment have you given, some initial pulse, breathing rates, and then you can also draw on here as to where the injury is located. This card follows the patient up to surface, and then is given to first aid security, which is then handed off to EMS. A great resource for EMS so that they know what they're dealing with and what they're getting as a patient. A couple of rubber gloves, latex gloves, available again from first aid. They're available in the tool crib as well. Quite a bit of different diseases, different conditions out there, so you want to protect yourself from those type of blood-related or fluid-related injuries that could be passed on to you. There's all kinds of items in this bag. I would recommend, if not juice. Again, I carry a little bottle of juice just for the diabetic first aid treatment, but a bottle of water would be good. Anything so that if you're down here for an extended period of time again, you've got a little bit of liquid to keep you going. Ultimately, the human body needs approximately 2 liters of water a day to survive properly, to function properly. But the human body can go up to 3 days without water. After that, you're in bad shape. So you definitely want to keep a little bit on reserve. I would say that that's probably a good start for items. Maybe one more thing I might want to suggest. It doesn't have to be this detailed, but maybe a notepad and a pen. You should always have a pen on you anyways, but to write notes, okay? If you have to document anything, if you have to pass notes through a confined opening. Also, you know what, just to keep you busy, if you're down here for a long period of time, you've got something to write on. All right? So I would say that that's probably it for now. Definitely a good starting point for your kit, for your everyday carry. So we're going to leave it there, all right? I'll keep this video series going with emergency preparedness for the underground miner, and we'll see where it takes us. So thank you very much for tuning, and keep watching.
Down the road I go. Have no place to go. Have no place to go. Have no place to go.